How's it going, boys? Johnny Superb Man here, bringing you another What Do You Think About video. And since we're in the playoffs, all the What Do You Think About videos from here on out until the end of the playoffs are going to be about the playoffs, okay? We're halfway through the first round. No one's been eliminated yet, but we've got some great hockey. I found myself being glued to my TV set, man, just watching it, because got some great hockey, some good series. So I want to go down through each one of the series because I don't get to watch them all like you guys do. I want to hear your opinions on each one of the series, alright? And I'll go down through the list giving my opinions on it. So first, we'll start off in St. Louis and San Jose. Now, if you guys remember, I predicted San Jose to upset the St. Louis Blues. I still think they can, but they're trailing in the series 2-1. They won the first game. But then the St. Louis Blues came back, won the next two. I'll be the first to say I haven't been watching the series too much. Again, other games get broadcasted over these guys. I don't know. It's probably just because they're a Western team. But the St. Louis Blues, I think it's a closer series than it looks because St. Louis in Game 3, yes, they had a 3-0 lead, but the San Jose Sharks came back. They had to win 4-3, did St. Louis. So I don't think that series is over. I think San Jose could still come back. Look out for the next game. The next game's big. Does St. Louis go up 3-1, or does San Jose tie the series 2-2? Watch out for the next game. The next game is real big, all right? The next series, and this series, again, I don't get to watch it as much. Other games get the pecking order over these guys, but the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Phoenix Coyotes. Now, I thought the Chicago Blackhawks were going to run through Phoenix, but so far they've played 2 games, and it's tied 1-1. But here's the thing. Phoenix could have won both those games. In the first game that Phoenix did win, they won in overtime, and I think they blew the lead in the third period in the last minute to put it into overtime, even though they won the game. They blew it in the last minute, and then that trend continued into the second game. They blew it with, 15 seconds left or something, and then the Chicago Blackhawks won it in overtime. So I said the Chicago Blackhawks are just going to beat Phoenix, but so far, Chicago has been trailing in games 1 and 2 in the last minute and have had to tie it up. So it's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Watch out for Phoenix. You never know. Taves is back, which is great for Chicago. But Mike Smith, the goalie for Phoenix, has been playing great. I don't think anyone expected him to be playing as well as he has. I think that Shaw guy hit him in the head. We'll see how that turns out. I think he's okay from it, though. So it should be a good series. Again, I don't get to watch it because the other games are on. I'll get to, check it out when other games are on the intermission. But definitely, watch that series, man. It could go either way. The next series we got, Detroit versus Nashville. And I said this was going to be, one of the most exciting ones in the West. It hasn't really turned out that way for me. I don't know. It's just not enough fisticuffs as in the other series, I guess. But they played 3 games, and Nashville is up 2-1 on Detroit. I thought Detroit would win this series. Again, another close series. It could be 2-1 for Detroit, just as easily. First of all, Weber in Game 1, the non-suspension. What do you guys think? Should that have been a suspension? I mean, he pulled a Hulk Hogan move, grabbing the guy and slamming his face into the turnbuckle. But no suspension. He got a fine, which is nothing to Weber. The guy's a millionaire anyways. And he continues to play, which has impacted Game 2 and Game 3, all the games that he could have been suspended for, right? And if you guys, did anyone watch Game 3, remember at the end of the second period there, I think it was Holmstrom or Franzen put the puck in the net, and it was like 0.01 seconds too late. The time just went. And that could have made it a 2-2 game going into the third. So that's what I mean. Even though Nashville won that game, very close series. It could still go either way. 2-1. If Detroit wins the next game, I don't know. They got it at home, so it's going to be a good series. Detroit-Nashville. Just I wish it got a bit more violent. I know a lot of people don't like that in hockey, but for me, yeah, I like the fighting. I like the grindy stuff. So it's a good series. Just I wish a bit more toughness, I guess, all right? The next series, the New Jersey Devils versus the Florida Panthers. I'll be the first to admit I haven't watched any of this series. Game 2 I had in the background while I was doing stuff, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I remember the first period of Game 1, New Jersey just destroyed the Florida Panthers. I think they had 25, 26 shots on net. It was crazy. But Florida, they rebounded from Game 1 well. They won Game 2. And Stephen Weiss, their folk hero. How long did this guy not play in the playoffs? He stuck it out with Florida, and now he's getting some points in the playoffs. He had 2 goals in Game 2. I believe he had 2 goals. So it's good for him. And you know what, Florida, good for them not to get swept out by the New Jersey Devils. They're going to show everybody that they are a team to be reckoned with because no one has given them any support. No one's given them any luck to get through to the second round, including myself. I still think New Jersey's going to win this series, but you never know. You never know. Now, off to Washington versus Boston. Now, this has been a good series. I thought Boston was going to run over Washington, but it hasn't been that way. It's been closer than I thought. First two games went to overtime. The first game, I mean, Tim Thomas had a shutout. Holtby, the new goalie for Washington, this is the reason I thought they were going to break, is because they got this new guy, Holtby, in net. But it's the breakout party. It's the Holtby breakout party, man. He's having a great playoffs. First game, he got his team into overtime, 0-0 tie. They should have had him a goal. Washington could have easily won Game 1. They did win Game 2. And Game 3, just watched it last night, 3-3 in the third. Shot from the point from Chara. Roman Hammerlick deflection, top shelf. I mean, it's an own goal deflection. You can't blame Holtby. It was just, again, another series that could go either way. Very interesting. Very interesting. Washington versus Boston. Definitely try to watch that series if you can because there are some fights going on. And Tim Thomas is still Tim Thomas. He's playing great. It's always a blast to watch Tim Thomas in the net. I still think Boston's going to win that series, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. 6 or 7 games, maybe. Watch out for that series. Now, the laughingstock series of the NHL. Vancouver versus the LA Kings. And the LA Kings are up 3-0 over the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, my God. What's going on, Vancouver? Well, I think it's clear to say that Daniel Sedin being injured probably really hurting the Vancouver Canucks, especially Henrik Sedin. He looks lost out there. Doesn't know what to do on the power play. But Daniel Sedin has been cleared for Game 4, so it looks like they're pushing the emergency button. They're bringing him down to LA, so should be interesting. I don't think that they're out of it. If there's one team that can come back, it's the Vancouver Canucks, you know. But I want to know, who are they going to start? Corey Schneider or Roberto Luongo? I mean, part of me says go back to Luongo. He's your starter, and you're on the brink of elimination. You got to give him the nod, right? But Corey Schneider, I mean, he had a great third game. Only allowed, what was it, 1 goal? Maybe, did they get a 1-0? Yeah, it was 1 goal, because Jonathan Quick got the shutout. And Jonathan Quick, whew, if you guys don't know about Jonathan Quick, all he needs is a deep playoff run to get the exposure that other players get when they go deep in the playoffs, and this guy will be a household name in the NHL. Jonathan Quick, man, Jesus. Watch out for this guy. And remember, in the beginning of the season, I predicted the Kings to do well in the playoffs. I did that because of one stat. All right, they may not score a lot of goals, but they keep the puck out of the net. That is perfect playoff hockey, okay? They're used to these one-goal games. They're used to these low-scoring games and going deep into the game with a tie game, overtime games, all right? Watch out for the Kings. They still got to get by the Vancouver Canucks. I'm not writing you Canucks off just yet. Daniel's coming down there. You never know. You can at least push it to game 6 or 7. So I think you still got a series there. It should be good. Definitely try to watch it. But I don't know. The Kings might just be perfect for the playoffs. Kings, man, if they get by Vancouver, watch out for them. Watch out for them. Ottawa versus the New York Rangers. Man, the surprise series of the playoffs. This has been a great series to watch, boys. I've watched every single game so far, and it has been a treat. Let me tell you, okay? Fighting, goals, great goaltending on both sides. Just toughness, tension, all right? Some questionable hits that I don't like, but Brian Boyle on the New York Rangers, he's making a name for himself. He's got 3 goals in 3 games, some key goals as well. He had the almost game winner in Game 2, then he did have the game winner in Game 3. So Brian Boyle, watch out for that guy. Henrik Lundqvist has been amazing, all right? First 2 games, 1-1, fine. Game 3, the 1 goal that Brian Boyle scored, I think before he scored it, there was a good 4 or 5 minutes of Ottawa just bearing down on the Rangers, just dominating them in their zone. Shot after shot. Lundqvist, save. The puck goes down the ice. One little chance. Brian Boyle, backhand, top shelf, all right? That's what Lundqvist is doing for you. All right, he is saving games. That Game 3 could have been Ottawa's. Should have been Ottawa's. But you know what? Henrik Lundqvist, and then that amazing save off Kyle Turris in the third with like 30 seconds left or whatever. Oh my God. Lundqvist has been amazing. Go watch this series. Lundqvist has been absolutely unbreakable. Hagelin, the Hagelin hit on Alfie, definitely not cool. He got suspended for it. If you guys watch it, go back. He came up, his elbow, boom, right to the side of Alfie's head. But the Rangers were complaining about a hit earlier in the night that, I forget which player it was, but an Ottawa Senator came up and gave kind of an elbow to another New York Ranger. I thought that was a good comparison when I saw that. And there was, I don't think there was any disciplinary action for that first hit. So it's just a crazy series, right? The refs got to get on top of this. Or more hits, more injuries are going to come. Chris Neal, Brian Boyle, yeah. They're all, I mean, it's just a great old-time hockey kind of series, all right? And you know what? Ottawa might do it. You never know, boys. I know I'm crazy for saying that, but Game 3, I felt like Ottawa should have won Game 3. You never know. I think Lundqvist, if Lundqvist goes down or if he starts to suffer a little bit, New York, I don't think they got a team. As long as Lundqvist is in the net, New York will be a good team, but Ottawa, they might just be that perfect team to counteract New York's grindy-ass style. They're fast, they got some talents, and if Craig Anderson, if Andy can just shut the door like he did in Game 3, I don't know. It should be a good series. It might go Game 6 or Game 7, for sure. And last but not least, Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Holy crap. I don't think anyone predicted the Philadelphia Flyers to be up 3-0 after 3. It's the best series for me so far in the playoffs. Absolutely. Just unbelievable. The amount of fights, the amount of goals. Every period of every game has been exciting. All right, I've been able to watch it from whistle to whistle without even having to think about it. All right, I've been upset when the intermission comes or the end of the game comes. I want to keep watching it. It's such a good series. All right, the Philadelphia rookies, Couturier, Shen, Reed, they're all coming out. Philadelphia's looking good, man. They got a good team. They really do. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's kind of been nowhere. He's struggled in the first 3 games, and it really hurts you. It really does. You got this goalie who you think, you're solid back there, and all of a sudden he falters. He doesn't give you a save when you need one, and all of a sudden the Philadelphia Flyers just getting 7, 8 goals every single game here. It's kind of crazy. The shorthanded goals for Philadelphia have been the backbreaker for me. Every single game there's been a shorthanded goal scored. Maxime Talbot and Giroux have just been owning on that penalty kill. I think Talbot had 2 in one game, or maybe it was 2 in 2 games, and then Giroux and Talbot both had 1 in one game. I forget, but I just go back to that game, what was it, Game 3, where Talbot came up after the Pittsburgh Penguins went up 1-0. Talbot came, tied the game with a shorty that Fleury tapped into his own net, and that just sucks all the life out of your team, and Philadelphia never looked back from there, man. Hulk Hogan, Scotty Hartnell, it's hilarious. It's just such a great series. The Broad Street Bullies are back. Now, I remember I got the question, Johnny, who are you cheering for in the playoffs now? I think I'm going for either Ottawa. I know I'm crazy for saying that, but just watching them, they're so fun to watch. Ottawa and the Philadelphia Flyers. Those 2 teams I'm really cheering for now. And a little bit of the Vancouver Canucks. I want to see them come back from 7, but I kind of like seeing the LA Kings do well as well. But honestly, Philly and Ottawa, Philadelphia is so exciting to watch. But the Philadelphia-Pittsburgh series, I hope it goes to 7. You know why? Because I want to see more of this. I want to see 3 more games of this, at least. Okay, I want to see 4 more games of this. All right? So if I could give you guys one opinion, one series to watch, go watch Game 4 of Philadelphia-Pittsburgh, okay? If you missed this and you have no other excuses to miss it, you are not a fan of hockey, because this is hockey. Everything you want, hits, saves, goals, fighting, power plays, shorthanded, everything you could want in a hockey game, you will find in Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. We might only have 1 more game of it. If Philly wins, we only have 1 more game. So make sure to watch Game 4, Philly versus Pittsburgh, okay? Do yourselves a favor and watch this brilliance. Oh, it's just so great, so great. All right, boys, so there's my little rant on the playoffs so far. Every what do you think about video from now to the end of the playoffs is kind of going to be like this, where I just talk about each one of the series that I've been able to watch. But I want you guys to go nuts in the comments here, because series like the St. Louis Blues, Chicago, Detroit, New Jersey, I haven't really watched. So what do you guys think? Why are those teams winning those series? All right, let me know. So for Johnny Superb Man and the Great Domsky, take it easy, boys, and we'll see you next time.